My name is R. Crosby Lyles, and this is News from the Can. This is a video from Mr. MBB 333, one of my favorite watchmen. He's got a website out there. He's got his finger on the pulse of a lot of different stuff going on out there. He's always got interesting stuff uploaded on his channel. Anyway, the reason I'm doing this video is he put up a video, Earth Shrouded in White Cocoon from ISS. The link is in the description. And he got the video from somebody else who was recording the live feed from the ISS, and you can't really tell that the ISS is moving here, but slowly on this side of on this corner of the screen here, you can see that you can see the water. You can see an opening in the clouds start to move along. So what you're seeing is the albedo effect. What this looks like to me, it looks like stratospheric water vapor. This is something that I talked about in a couple of videos. Art Bell, rest in peace, is in this as a subject of this video here, where I talk about a theory that I have that's actually been out for a while, and I'm not really even sure who started it, but it's been out for a while. That it's called the methane off switch hypothesis. If you look at the geologic record, there's a global warming spike before every glacial period. And we're in an interglacial period now. And so what that looks like is it looks like a period of advanced global warming, of heat trapping, followed by a situation of heat reflection. And my hypothesis, and I'm probably the hypothesis of somebody back in the 80s, as far back as the 70s or the 80s, is that the global warming maybe caused methane pulse, clathrate release, or something like that. The methane is light. It has a molecular weight of about 16. The molecular weight of water is about 18. So the methane rises up and it crosses the tropopause into the stratosphere, into the high stratosphere. That's important. Into the high stratosphere, where it reacts with oxygen, essentially, ozone, oxygen, and produces water vapor and carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide has a molecular weight of about 46 and falls out. The fluid mechanics of the stratosphere are a little bit different than the fluid mechanics of the troposphere because of the spacing of the molecules. So you basically have air movement by diffusion in the stratosphere. So basically, the carbon dioxide just essentially just rains out. It just falls out. And because of the fairly light weight of water that's produced up there, it has a tendency to stay higher up in the stratosphere, where it can coalesce into ice crystals. And it's a greenhouse gas. Water is a greenhouse gas. And when you put greenhouse gases in the upper stratosphere, it causes global cooling. As well as when you have the albedo effect from ice crystals, that causes the solar radiation to reflect off of the upper atmosphere, and so this also causes global cooling. That's what this looks like right here. The timeline that I offer is that it looks as though there was a methane pulse between 2012 and 2014, and that was followed by the Pacific Blob anomaly, which ran between 2013 and 2016. That was, of course, there was a drought in California during the time of this Pacific Blob anomaly, which was followed by, in 2016, heavy rain, heavy precipitation, heavy turnaround to cold. It basically started getting colder and wetter. And this is indicative of that turnaround that's discussed in the methane off switch hypothesis, this video here, and maybe a couple other videos that I have. So that's what this looks like. Because this is a wide-reaching blanket of clouds. Looks like clouds in the upper atmosphere. It's hard to say. I don't know about the resolution of the original video, but the resolution of this particular video is not necessarily that great. It might be a capture or something like that. So you can't really see that well. But I guess, you know, in the original feed, you really couldn't tell how, you know, you really couldn't see much detail either. And the only reason that you can tell that the ISS is even moving is that you can see that there's a hole in the clouds that starts to come into view over here. That's the only reason you can tell in this part of the screen here. That's the only reason that you can even tell that the ISS is moving. And that would be indicative of something that would happen at the turnaround, where the Earth goes from advanced global warming, which we saw, like I said, the Pacific Blob anomaly, and that hot period in 2013 looks to me like that might have been the peak, that spike, the tip of the spike before the turnaround. And we might be in the, looks to me like we might be in the turnaround. I have to say might, because there's no definites here. And of course, you're going to hear a lot of different explanations for that, that maybe it's because of the weakening magnetic field and lower output from the sun, that we're getting more cosmic radiation, and that the cosmic radiation is producing the coalition of water droplets maybe in the upper atmosphere, or you're getting more collisions from solar wind in the upper atmosphere that might be producing water. And you know, it just might be all of the above. So, or geoengineering, you know, I've heard that one before, and who knows, hey, maybe. I have seen patents of geoengineering technology where they want to put material in jet fuel and then fly above the tropopause to inject aerosols into the stratosphere, and those aerosols would cause the albedo effect, would cause solar radiation to reflect off of the high atmosphere, the stratosphere, and produce global cooling, you know, to counteract a man-made solution, supposedly to counteract the effect of global warming. Whereas we've seen geologic record, there's a natural turnaround that happens, there's a spike. To me, this is indicative of that upper atmosphere albedo water vapor ice crystal layer that you would see around the turnaround. There may be another explanation. You always want to do your own research. Please do your own research, make up your own mind. I'm not trying to convince anybody. I don't get paid. I'm not a shill. I don't work for the hydrocarbon industry. I don't work for the coal industry. I don't give a, you know, I don't work for the tar sands industry. You know what I mean? I don't shill for anybody. This is just me and my thoughts about what's happening, and it could, you know, it could get funky. It could get funky, but the reason that I keep going on about this is because it's going to go funky in ways that people really haven't predicted or have gotten away from. These guys right here, Strieber and Bell, you know, to me they nailed it. The coming global superstorm. They wrote that thing back in 1998, you know, and they nailed it. What, you know, the effect of global warming, which is, it's in the geologic record. I mean, there it is. Advanced global warming followed by a spike. That's what they said. That's what they predicted, you know. Woolly mammoths with green vegetation still frozen in place with green vegetation still in their mouths. So, anyway, beating a dead horse with that. But I'm not really into hysterics or anything like that, but this would indicate that the shit's going down right now. That's this year. I would start, you know, thinking about what's going to happen in the fall, next fall, or maybe even sooner. We're going to see, and it's just going to get more interesting. It's not going to go the way that some of the global warming extremists have said that it's going to go. We're not going to turn into Venus. It's going the other way. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. You know, but I got to tell you, that's the evidence that I'm seeing more and more. That's the way it's going. So we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, I just wanted to, you know, give this guy a shout out, Mr. MBB 333. This guy, I love this guy's channel. He's always doing interesting stuff. He's out in Phoenix. He's talking a lot about some interesting things going on with UV A, B, and C. Apparently the UV levels are kind of high, which is really kind of interesting. I'd like to do some research into that myself to see exactly what's going on with that. But anyway, we'll get into that later. And you know, guys, be safe out there. As always, you know, Make sure to have survival tools at your disposal pretty much at all times. If you get in your car to go to work, take any kind of drive, any distance away or whatever, you know, you want to make sure you got some sort of survival tools on you. You know what I'm saying? Keep your phone charged and all that kind of stuff. I've talked about it before. But anyway, that's all I got. Be safe. Love you guys. Take it easy. And my name is R. Crosby Lyles, and this has been News from the Can. Thanks for watching. See you.